right. Get it right.
How you feeling today?
I've definitely had better days.
So you know this is the safe space, man. You want to elaborate? You want to talk about it?
Yeah, but I kind of don't.
Okay.
It's one of it's along the lines of something I think I've been dealing with my whole life, and I'm just struggling with accepting how it's playing out right now. And that's sounds like a bunch of gibberish.
No, it ain't gibberish, man. I mean, you know, we all go through stuff, but if you wanna.
No, to be honest, I'm grateful, man. I'm in a place of gratitude right now. It's been a tough week. It's been rewarding, and it's starting to pay off. Things are starting to happen.
Okay. Okay, good. So, since you've been back in the Bay, man, you've been enjoying your time here. I know you got a lot of history here. Played 2 teams here. What does it feel like to be back?
Man, it's honestly kind of bittersweet. I've gotten such a warm reception from, people and places I've gone, but I don't feel as if I'm ready to be back here right now. Just because this is like home, and people are like family, and there's some things I kind of wanted to have some things with me when I came back, you know what I mean?
Right.
Just win, baby.
Yo, what's good in your hood?
What's good, man?
We're back for another installation of Bart the Bay Area Raiders Talk. And as you've seen, we was giving our moments for Alden Smith, Raider in Peace. And this is Men's Mental Health Month. And for me, it's always Men's Mental Health Month every day. I had a friend make a post saying, how come men don't talk about their mental health like they talk about sports and cars and girls? And then I responded and just like, that's wild. I wasn't trying to be mean or anything like that, but I was like, that's wild to make that comparison because it's really not that simple for men. So it's not like men emote like women. So it's a little different.
Exactly.
But I tried to explain it to him, but I think she kind of felt a certain way and deleted the post. And that was really a learning moment right there to understand what men go through. And that's why men generally don't express what they feel because of lack of understanding. But I do want to dedicate this show for anybody that's going through it, and you feel like you're alone and nobody understands. There's people that understand, but they're going through their own thing, and you got to be your own superhero as a man. And that's just what it is sometimes. And it's tough, and it is what it is, but you can always reach out to other brothers and try to find some kind of common ground there. But I have a brother, Pizzle, not Nizzle for Shizzle.
What's cracking?
We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about, also, I want to keep in our prayers too.
Like, this is kind of.
I want to keep in our prayers Shane Leckler. He didn't pass away or nothing, but he was diagnosed with lung cancer, right? So we want to keep him in our prayers as well. And man, love on who you love, man, because life is real. And we sometimes we argue and we go back and forth on this Raider platform, but life is real, and you got to really cherish people that are in your life. And prayers out to Shane Leckler and Alden Smith and his family. So I'm gonna take a couple seconds to give Alden Smith and his family their due proper respect. All right, let's give him a Raiders. I'm a Raider though. Once a Raider, always a Raider. All right, what's up with Freddie? It's good. Let's get into it. So we're gonna talk Kobe Dean a little bit. We're gonna talk about is Maxx overpaid. They talking about your boy Max saying he overpaid, and to pile on the rest of the hate that they have for him. And speaking of piling on the hate, I'm hearing all kind of weird stuff about JPJ. So we're gonna talk about that too. So man, please come in and pay your fare to the BART, man. Punch that like button. Don't be a fare raider. Go on and hit that like button, man. That's just the fare to to enjoy this content we putting together. So we're gonna talk about. Let's start off with the Kobe Dean. And my camera tripping right now. So when you start talking, Pizzle, take a little second. I'm gonna try to reset my camera. Uh, but we're gonna talk about Kobe Dean a little bit because I know a lot of our fans have that PTSD, that post-traumatic Super Bowl disorder, and we have a tendency to ignore our history because we're not thinking in our right mind. A lot of time we thinking emotional. So this is for the people. If you thought we were going to be good last year, I don't want to hear y'all tell me about evaluations of players because I was sitting here really, really trying to understand why we got Kobe Dean and everybody was giving all these high praises. And then when I got to looking into his history of injury, and then it didn't really pop up until he wasn't practicing at the OTAs, then I started having to put him on the radar because he what they call it, mental rep twins with our other boy, Ron Crawford.
Yeah,
Mental
he's
reps,
got the
mental reps.
mental repping with Crawford. Crawford and
Yeah,
mental repping.
mental repping with Crawford. Right,
Yeah.
and this is supposed to be our green dot linebacker. So that's what also have me feeling, well, not feeling, like looking at it in a way like, okay, wait a minute. One thing that we are stressing is communication. Everything is communication. And how does our leader, our green dot guy, not out there? He's not out there. So I do have some preservations when it comes to Nakobe Dean. Let me just go over his injuries real quick, and then you can kind of take it for a second, Fizzle. But here's Nakobe Dean's. Let's see. All right, here's injury. So in his 2023 Eagles season, when he played the Eagles, he had a Liz Frank foot injury in week 1. So that sprain landed him on the IR, forced him to miss multiple games. And then he came back in 2023. And after just a few games of returning, he re-aggravated that same Liz Frank injury in his foot. And he had to undergo surgery and was placed on IR for the second time in this season after playing only 5 games. So then he played in January 2025. He torn his patella tendon. During the Eagles' wild card playoff win against the Packers, he suffered a devastating torn patella tendon in his left knee. So the typical recovery time for an NFL athlete returning from a patella injury, a tendon injury, is like 9 to 12 months. But it could take up to 18 months to fully regain your power and your explosiveness. So a more realistic timeline puts his return on the field like mid to late 2025 or the early 2026 season. Now, but during that 2025 season, he messed around and missed the first chunk of the 2025 season because he was on the PUP list. So he sat out for the first 6 games, and then he finally came in. And then in late December, something about December, week 16, he suffered a hamstring injury in coverage. He has to be taken to the locker room. So they downplayed it, whatever, whatnot. But now here we are currently in June. I mean, what is it, June now? Yeah, currently in June. And then we signed him to a massive contract.
Massive.
And he hasn't been practicing. So Pizzle. Because we gave him $20 million guaranteed. And he has this pattern of lower body injury. So what do you think and how do you feel about our man, Kobe Dean, and how are you concerned? So I ain't gonna lie, I'm concerned.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little concerned about our boy Dean here having so many lower extremities injuries, especially on those foots, and then now that knee. You know, so he's been through a couple of surgeries here in the last few years. That's kind of you know, that's hard. That's got to be hard on a player. It's got to be hard on a player's confidence too. You know, and just you know, hopefully he can get together and get this little injury prone little what do we call that? You know, this little dip in his career with his little injuries. Hopefully he can get past it and we can get a good couple of years out of him because it seems like he's been due. It's like he's got a lot of bad luck over there or something. Like I don't know why, but he seems to be injured of just about every year. And then I don't know why the Raiders are like, yeah, that's a good idea to go. I mean, I understand he's a good linebacker and he was you know, we needed to fill that, but at the same time, availability is the best ability, and he hasn't been very available in the last few years. So, you know, I'm worried about that the most. Is you know, is he going to be healthy enough to come in and play for so long? You know, so in that aspect, you know, when he plays, he's awesome, right? When he plays, he's a force to be reckoned with. He gets the job done. You know, he's physical. He fills the gap. He's everything that you want, but he can't be hurt. You know.
Yeah, you definitely hit all the nails on the head right there and syncing them all together because you know injuries is kind of weird because it is a violent sport. So I can see injuries happening, and it does matter the type of injury that happen. And so for him, hopefully, like you said, that injury bug or whatnot can pass him by for at least a couple of years and we can get value out of him. Because I can understand why we went and got him. I
Yeah.
just
No.
don't understand why I don't understand why we spent the money we spent.
I don't know how many other people were knocking down his door. So you know he does have value. I don't know if he's got 20 million value, but hey, it's not our money, bro.
It's kind of our money.
Yeah, well, it kind of is. I agree. I like to think it is our money, but we don't ever. It's like the government. We give them our money, but we don't get a say. It's the exact same thing. Except they don't steal our money. We willingly give it to them for jerseys and tickets and all kinds of memorabilia. Because that's what we do. All right. So we had Nicole Dean. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see him. I'd like to see him come out this year and you know, come off of that knee injury and bounce back. I think that would be really great to see him overcome these injuries, you know, and put in a great season for us. You know, I'd like to see him make, you know, 100, 120 tackles or something. I'd like to see that kind of production out of our boy if he can make it. But you know, maybe he won't. I don't know. Maybe he'll get halfway through the season and he'll hurt something else. You know, and then where are we going to be at? We're going to bring in Eichenberger, you know, because we also got to look at, you know, more than likely he's going to be hurt, in my opinion, because that's what he's shown the last few years, right? That's his track record, is that he's been hurt. So we're going to have to either get Eichenberger ready, make sure he can come in there and do what he wants, or we're going to have to, you know, make sure he's got somebody in his we got somebody that can come in there and swap and fill his shoes because like I said, if you wanted to see what he's been up to, all you got to do is look in the past, look left, right? And so, you know, he's been hurt, so we just got to be prepared for what's going to happen.
Whoop. Gotta be prepared for whatever's gonna happen, like my camera going out, like it's trying to hate while we struggle streaming. All right, now I feel like I'm back in the competition. Now y'all hit the like button. Let's go. So yeah, no, for real though. No, for real. I heard most of what you said, and I do agree with you. We got to be cautious. I mean, like sometimes the need kind of supersedes the amount. And that's what I'm trying to get y'all to, not you necessarily, but people to understand about this Max thing in his contract. Because one of the things I kept hearing repetitively is for the money that he makes, I expect this. He should do this because he makes all this money. And I'm like, the business side of it, he's getting paid right along course with what the market dictates. And for him to sit there and say, "Well, you know, I don't think I earned that money," like that's preposterous, especially as much money as the league make off these players.
Oh yeah, the league is killing it too. I think the whole thing is overpriced and overrated. That's just my opinion. You know, when it costs you $1,000 to go to the game for an afternoon, bro, I think it's just a little too much. Even a couple $100. Who's got a few $100 extra to take their kids to the game nowadays on a Sunday?
Man,
You know, the parking alone, the parking's got to be close to $100 just to pull up into the place and park.
yeah, it's like 50 or something like that's a lot plus the gas or whatever. That's just to get in the park, like you say. God forbid you want something to drink or eat or
Yeah, that's
anything like that. You
$20.
spend it. Yeah, you spend it. So
You know, it's just
it is crazy. These pressures is interesting though because when the coaches say all these good things about these players and the pressers, they give us the false sense of their where they are in our mind. You know, like, oh, they're good, they're good. That's what happened to me when it came to this Nakobe Dean and Clay Walker thing. Oh, they Georgia this and Georgia continuity. Like, I'm all for that. But then when I got to looking, okay, this dude is injury prone. So we got nerves talking about Max being injury prone. We got nerves to talk about JPJ and his injury proneness. But then nobody warned me about this injury prone guy. Like, are we doing selective injury proneness? And that's why I don't listen to those pressers because it's like your girl when your girl tell you that you handsome, she call you handsome, and you know you need to line up, and you know your beard needs to be shaved, but she still call you handsome because she want to make you feel good. You handsome on some days, but you probably really ain't handsome right then like that. You gotta take it with a grain of salt, man. I mean, basically go get a shape up so you can really feel like the way she's trying to make you feel. So can
right.
we get him to really like show out on the field? I'm not thinking it's a super big deal because it's not training camp and they're essentially letting him heal all the way up because he has like another month or whatever. Same thing with Max and same thing with everybody else with their nagging injuries. Maybe even what's our mental reps, Kieran Crawford, maybe even him because he might have tweaked something too. You know, jumping in the pool or whatever. I don't want to say that, but that's a very real thing though, because that's a very real thing. I'm gonna just leave that there because
What up, Sacktown?
it's a very real thing. So hopefully he gets back to camp. My eyes on him because we need to see what he's gonna bring to the table because our defense is gonna be made or broke by how our linebackers play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have to agree with you on that. The linebackers definitely got to get in there. Well, the defensive line's got to take on the blocks and get after the quarterback, and the linebackers got to fill the gaps and stop the run.
We the people. What's good with you, brethren?
What are we the
What's
people?
good with Sacktown, Bay Area, and back down. Justice for 12, you know I see you, brethren.
Yeah, what up, Justice?
So let's pocket watch let's pocket watch Max. I don't like pocket watch. I think that's probably why I have a problem when people say that, you know, I expect this out of him because of a certain amount of money. Not that people are wrong. Not that people are wrong when they say that because it's public information for a reason. And
But I just don't have. I had this thing about because when you playing with a player, right? You expect a player to make a play because of who he is, not how much he makes. What he makes is just kind of like a byproduct or a visualization of what his worth is to the franchise at the time. So that's how I look at that. But when we on the field, I'm not like, bro, we need a sack right here. You make 35 million. We need a sack right here. No, I need a sack right here because you Maxx MF and Crosby, right? So
Well,
let's look at let's
that's half of it.
right.
The other half is you make 35 million, make a play.
You make 35, make a play.
Yeah.
All right. Move.
You know, I've said this a few times, bro. It's not like I don't expect you to make every play. You know what I'm saying? But those plays where you know the game is on the line and we need a big play. You know what I'm saying? Like when we need something, that's when I expect you to dig down and make a play, bro. Dig down deep and get that sack or that forced fumble or a forced interception or something or tip that ball up in the air or whatever, bro. A batted down pass, whatever's got to be done.
I'm with you with that, right? I'm with you. Now, but if you're holding the whole defense together for 2.5 quarters, and then it comes the time you need a big play, that's when somebody else got to step up. If you guys are not alleviating some of the pressure off of him earlier in the game, because teams scheme for that. We're gonna wear Maxx out. We know he got a nonstop motor, but his motor ain't the same as it is in the first quarter, the second quarter, and the third and fourth. And we just work on Maxx because Moose ain't gonna get no sacks. Nobody else is gonna do anything. We can block them head up, so we'll just wear out Maxx. And then when it comes to a point in the game where you need Maxx to make a play, yeah, sometimes even like last year, I think he made plays in crucial moments last year more so than I've seen in recent years. And we're going to talk about that shortly. But when you don't have somebody else that can help you make a play that energize you, that make your level go up higher, you do like the Raiders, play to the level of your competition. And in this case, you're playing to the level of the competency of the D-line that you have. Because we wasn't relying on our linebackers to get sacks and stuff like that, like we're going to do this year. It was all D-line action. So I do agree, though. You still got to dig down deep because that's what make the Kobe's, the Jordans, the Jordans, you know, the Tim Duncans, the Tim Duncans, you know, the greats, the greats. You notice I didn't say LeBron because he just do it sometime, but
yeah, he's great at flopping. He's a great flopper.
So that's when you got to dig down deep and pull it out. So I do agree with you guys. So here's the top 10 list right here, y'all. We got Phillips, Hockenson, and Maxx Crosby at 8 with his 3-year, $106.5 million contract. And right underneath that is Trey Hendrickson. He just jumped on the list too, 4 years, 112. Chris Jones, D-line for Kansas City, 5 years, 158. TJ Watt, edge rusher, the Steelers. Nick Bosa, edge for the Niners, 5 years, 170. Dan Moore, old tackle, only one on here, 4 years, 82. Godwin, wide receiver, getting shipped out 3 years, 66 million. And Deshaun Watson, you know, he's the king of this list because that's undisputed. 5 years, 230 million. That's undisputed that is an overpriced, overpaid, overinflated, over everything contract. So, what do you think about? Huh?
He got a little extra jelly in his donut.
Man, he got some jelly. He got extra cheese on his Whopper. Matter of fact, he got an extra piece of. It was like a double Whopper with the bacon on it. He got everything, and he got the curly. He got the curly fries and the regular fries.
He got the deluxe meal.
The deluxe meal. So
he got the king size.
Yeah, he got it all. Brand new socks and drawers. So, and here's Max's contract. And this is from Bleacher Report. And this is what they were saying. Brad Gagnon from Bleacher Report was saying the contract is 3 years, 106.5 million with 91.5 million guaranteed, signed in 25. The problem is after putting up a combined 27 sacks in 22 and 23, the 7-year veteran has failed to top 10 sacks in either of the last 2 seasons. He'll turn 29 this summer, and the continued decline is inevitable. Inevitable. Y'all know why I can't say that right now.
I know why.
Yeah. So the kicker here is that the Raiders are pretty much stuck paying him more than $65 million over the course of the next 2 years. They tried to trade him this offseason for a reason. That's what he's saying, and that's why they're saying his contract is overpriced. So you had some thoughts about that. You said you know why. Shoot your shot.
Well, I think that. Well, I think that people just expected more out of him. You know, like we paid for him. He does a great job. You know, he's the franchise head guy. He's been the best player on our team next to Brock Bowers. Like that's just recent. He's been the best defensive player on the team since he's been here. So I mean, I get why he's getting the money, you know, and he does have a great relationship with Mark Davis and the nation, and all those things are great. But at the same time, you know, we just it's not that we think he's overpaid. It's just that we think we should be getting a little bit more production out of him on the field. You know, I got on it a little bit earlier about making that play when we need it or whatever. It's not that he's not out there, giving it his all the time. That's not what we're talking about. And maybe this year, when he gets some reps, he will have energy for the third and fourth quarter instead of giving it all up in the first and second quarter in the first half. Trying to learn how to keep that energy the whole I can't think of it right now, but yeah, pace. For the whole game. So that way, when and save some of that energy, because at the end, because at some point of the game, you are going to have to make a play. There's going to be a situation where you can make a play or you cannot make a play, and you don't want to be worn out. You don't want to be worn out and not be able to make the play.
No, absolutely. I agree with you wholeheartedly there. Oh my God.
Absolutely. No, everything. Absolutely, though. I wholeheartedly agree with you there, and so they got him some help because that's what my big gripe is. This you got to get the man some help. And let me see if you guys noticed something about this list. Let's take a look at this list again. What do you notice about this list? If you notice, look at how many edge rushers are on there.
Mm-hmm.
Half of this list, I think it's 5 of them on here. They're all edge rushers. So the edge rushers are getting paid. So is his contract in sync with what the market dictates? And
yes, it's in sync. He's what did you say, an 8th overall?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, we're not, like I said, I don't think people think we're overpaying them. We just want more production, like I'm saying, dude. I mean, it does seem like a lot of money, but when you start looking at some of these other guys' numbers, we're actually getting kind of a bargain.
Ooh, that's a hot take. I don't think I heard anybody else say that. What you say, but you're right though. And I think the reason why a lot of us feel that way is because we've seen the production that Maxx has put out already. And since he's kind of been fighting back from those injuries, we haven't seen that. So here's the top 10 here. TJ Hawkinson getting paid. And here's our boy, Maxx. And I read what You know, say, and then here your boy, and this is a funny thing too. I want to bring up. They said his problem with his contract is he's 34, coming off a season derailed by lingering core muscle injuries. So he injury prone. Like, so it ain't no. They saw Max's leg and was like, "I'm cool," and because they got him cheap or whatever. I just think that they didn't want to give up the 2 first rounds because they kind of wanted both of them. I think they wanted both of them. That's what I think. Like
Yeah,
this, like
I think they might have wanted both of them, but I think they might have used one against the other too. I don't know. I wasn't
could
there,
be.
you know. But unfortunately, it seems like Max was the odd man out, and you know, he's going to be a Raider, whether the nation likes it or not. He's here, and we just got to accept him back with wide arms, wide open, and you know, hopefully it works out this year. Hopefully we got him some help because as far as I'm concerned, we haven't. Every guy we tried to bring over here to help him has been a failure, literally.
Right, literally crash and burn. Like, and we got some big names because it's not like we didn't swing for the fences on it. Because what was the name that you named? Because you named some very good names that we really tried to bring in to help him on that D line.
Well, yeah, we definitely brought in Wilkins, right? Wilkins, high dollar player, but then he got funny, and we had to let him go because he started doing some funny stuff.
Way too much.
Yeah, doing way too much. And you know, I can't remember anybody else that I named, but there's quite a few people that we've brought here, and they just, you know, they haven't turned out to who we wanted them to turn out to be, and that's unfortunate. It's like they come over here and think that they can just get paid and not do anything. Willie Wayne was cracking.
That shit was fucking weak.
No, I agree with you on that. So we got he has some help this year.
Yeah, he had a little help, but they still weren't able. The problem with this year was, yeah, we got him help this coming year, but the problem with last year is we just couldn't get the ball rolling, dude.
Well, it's the offense that kept the defense stressed out all year. Our defense was stressed out all year, basically.
Yeah, we kept them on the field for way too long. Like, we could have been middle of the pack, or maybe even a little bit better, maybe top 12, if we could have kept them off the field longer.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the stats from people were saying Maxx didn't get better, and I kind of raised my eye to that because I'm pretty sure even for me the eye test he looked like a better player. And granted, even last year he was playing with an injury, like severe ankle injury, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in 24, in the 24 season, he faced a down year by his elite standards due to that lingering ankle injury that he suffered in week 2. And that ultimately required surgery. So that limited him to 12 games, causing his production and PFF grade to hit their lowest mark since 2020. So his PFF overall grade was 74.3. And then in the 25 season, he bounced back forcefully despite continuing to navigate injuries and playing for a struggling Raider squad. We just talked about the defense being overextended, but he played better. So he stayed on the field for 15 games, but he did get back up to double-digit sacks with that 10 sacks, which is good to see. And then he saw a significant rise in his PFF grade to 79.7. And we're going to highlight his elite run defense, and his motor is still high. So let's look in 12 games or 15 games. And arguably in the 24 season, he could have got 10 sacks that year too, arguably. Total tackles, though, is a big difference. We were having a hard time stopping the run last year. And it looked like Maxx was in. Like 73 total tackles is insane for a DN. Yeah. That's a lot. And then he's about the same with the QB pressure. So he kept up the pressures on the quarterback, but he did stop a run, or it was involved in the run game a lot, which made his PFF grade go about 5 points. Now, the thing is, last year, he was outside of the top 15, and this year he was in the 16th position.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, I'm thinking Maxx played better this year than previous year, to me. And that means he's getting better. And like he said, he's not trying to just come back, he's trying to come back better. Now, I'm fair. I'm not a fan person that I make rules for one fan and not the other. So we're gonna compare his last year's stats to his 2023 season. And so in every statistical category that we talked about, he is down in. Played 17 games that year, 14 and a half sacks. That's probably where everybody want to see him at, around the 15 sack mark, right?
At least 12 to 15. At least 12 to 15.
Yeah. And so even the total tackles, he had 90 that year with 31 QB pressures. So his overall PFF grade was 91. So that's the max that got paid.
Yep, it sure was.
And he was top 10.
Mm-hmm.
That's the max that got paid. And I try to explain that to people when it comes to the contract, though, is Maxx get paid for what he's done, not what he's going to do. That's what they pay you on, based on what you do. And that's why sometimes stats do matter, and it gives you leverage to get more money, because you're getting paid on what you did and what they project that you still could do for however long that you could do it. And I think Maxx is cool. He's gonna be 29 soon. He got like 2, 3. I got like 3 peak years. I would say he got 3 peak years. If he can hurry up and get over this injury, this repair injury, and get his motor back up to his 2023 standard, then I think we'll feel a lot better about Maxx. And then all the coiling about trade Maxx and Maxx this, and I even heard something else crazy about Maxx, because he went to the White House and watched the UFC thing, and how he's a sellout and all this, and fans are hating him because of that. And I'm like, oh my God, y'all gonna find any reason not to like Maxx, but then y'all forget that Brock Bowers was doing the Trump dance in the end zone. Like, the same people that hate Maxx for doing that will forget that Brock Bowers was doing the Trump dance in the end zone. Like, obviously he rocked with Trump. I don't know if he rocked with him now. Trump been tripping lately. But
my whole thing is, who cares who they're rocking with? That's really no one's business but theirs. If you don't like it, that's your business. I mean, you know what I mean? I don't particularly care who they voted for. That's none of my business.
Right. Right. I agree.
Get out of your emotions. Get out of your emotions, yo. Stop being emotional. You're sounding like a woman.
Yeah, I agree.
You're a man. That's why men don't cry, bro. Right? Especially don't cry around a woman. Because if you cry around a woman, then they're gonna think you're weak. They don't want a man crying around them and shit, sobbing about telling them their problems. That's what a woman don't want. And anyone who says different is a goddamn liar.
I'm gonna have to agree with you on that. They say they want you to open up and be emotionally available and communicative. But
yeah, you believe that
they want that for you, but then they're gonna look at you funny though. Just know that.
Yeah, they're gonna look at you way different. Like, it's time for me to get an exchange. I gotta change this car in.
Where my receipt at?
Yep.
Right. So I guess we come to the consensus that Maxx is not overpaid, but what we do need is for him to get his production back up, which is a fair assessment because he's coming off an injury, but we need him to bounce back up to that. You say 12, I'm saying closer to 14, but like you said, 12 to 15 is fair, right? So I would agree. He needs to get around that area. I guess around the 80 tackles, and hopefully maybe not that much, because we'll be able to make some things happen with our linebackers. And then we'll be able to stop the run with Maxx, because he is a force multiplier when it comes to stopping the run. And he stopped a lot of running last year. So I like the way he played last year. I understood why he was upset, because he wanted to play through it. He's going to play through the injury. But the franchise did the smart thing for once. That's why we're going to start winning the championship, because we're doing it from the top down, not the player up. We're not letting the players, or like you say, the inmates run the asylum. We're not letting that happen. So so they sat him down. So he could be ready coming into training camp. So hopefully he take heed of that. Hey, chat raiders, let me know what y'all think about. Do y'all think Maxx is overpaid, or do you think he's rightly paid? Or do you agree with Pizzle that we just want a little bit more production out of Brody?
Yeah, I think that he's got to have a minimum of double sack. I don't really, and I think he's going to have more sacks and tackles, especially this year. I think because he's going to share time. We didn't pay that other guy to come over here and replace him because he's going to get traded and then not give that guy any time. He's got to earn his money too. Everybody's got to earn their money.
That's what he paid. Yeah.
So homeboy's got to earn his money. Maxx has got to earn his money. Kuntz has got to earn his money, right? And I think that Crosby's going to have to. He might have to sit some reps this year, and that'll be good for him because that'll keep him more energetic. It'll keep him from being injured, right? I know he wants to be out there every play and do and be the Iron Man of the NFL and all this stuff, right? That's all cute. But at the end of the day, if we're going to take a playoff run or a championship run serious, like you can't play 100% of the plays every game. That's injury. Look at McCaffrey. Look at all these guys. It's just the more you play, the more likely it is you're going to get hurt. It's going to happen.
Yeah, I agree. And the new NFL, when it comes to the D line, you rotate D linemen.
Yeah, you're supposed to
because you're not rotating the O linemen. So the O linemen are getting tired while the D linemen are just being relentlessly coming at them with fresh energy.
New waves and waves. They come at them in waves.
In waves, right.
Yep.
Sacktown Raider Mike say, I believe that there are Raider fans that's out there looking for something to be mad at about when it comes to Maxx. Right. And that's what I'm saying, the emotional part of it. Like, I get that we're mad at him because of some of the things he said and all that, but when you get into an argument with your brother, even your chick, I can understand your chick because you get something out of that. Because you got to be nice if you want something out of her. But if it's
not really,
if it's your bro, I know generally, bro. I'm not talking about you or me. I'm talking about in general. A lot of these dudes, you got to be nice because she ain't gonna reciprocate or whatever. But when it comes to your brother, right, you can say something to your brother, but if you get so hurt by what he said that it divides you, then to me, that's like what females do. Because you're supposed to be able to take that, and then even if especially if it's true, but even if it ain't true, like, all right, cool, whatever. You know what I'm saying? We back to homies again. We can fight and still be able to be like, let's have a beer or blow a blunt or hit the J or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You could be my homeboy and you voted for Trump and I voted for Kamala, right? That means I'm gonna stop being your homeboy because of that. That's what I'm saying. That's the weirdness that
Some people do that. Some weirdos do that shit.
Yeah, they do that. But what I'm saying is, isn't that a little like emotional to be that way?
Yeah, they are. It is. But that's the thing, man. A lot of these people are emotional. They've been raised by women.
Well, and then plus the feminist movement, because at every turn, women telling us how we supposed to emote like them. So
women are turned into the men that they want to be.
Yeah.
How about that? How about that?
For sure. So Freddie says, I want to see him do more, but he's paid just right for what he does. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. J Rowe was good with you, bro.
J Rowe.
Raider A straight. Right. What up with the chat raiders? Can y'all hit the like button for your boy? Hit the you feel me too at the bottom of the screen if you haven't become part of that sub club and help us get into this algorithm and this AG because Raider content is about to heat up. Everybody talking about this so much they making up stuff, y'all. They making up stuff saying that JPJ gonna get traded or he ain't even gonna start. Like, what are we talking about, y'all?
Why would we do that?
Why we
Wow.
do that? Like, what's up with the recent wave of negativity when it comes to him? Like, everybody trying to say he gonna get traded, or everybody want to have a hot take because it's the summertime right now or whatever. I don't know what's up with that. So why is everybody doing that? And I get it though. I get it because he has some legitimate things that he had to hurdle. The extreme assertions that he's not smart enough. Like, why was it? He won't. He's not smart enough to understand the lingo. He's concussion. He's injury prone. A lot of this stuff is just unfounded, man, and just about personal biases. And I don't
He
get it.
is concussion prone. That's why he got the retard hat on his helmet.
No, let's not call it that.
He said,
Let's not call it. Let's not call it that.
he said
Call it the helmet condom.
no,
Call
bro.
it the helmet condom.
Can we at least call it the dunce hat?
No, listen, because it's there to protect his head. Like, I don't want to shame a person for doing that, bro. Because
There's nothing in there to protect, bro. First, there's got to be something in there to protect.
Bro, obviously the league says it's protective. It's a protective halo. So it is what it is. I don't care. But even though he's concussion prone, right? First of all, this let me know how soft that football has gotten. Like, I bet you if you ask any player during the Tim Bryant era and Michael Irvin and all them, I promise you they done had like 2 or 3 concussions unfounded. At least 2 or 3 concussions.
At least, yeah, for sure.
That's unfounded or undocumented or anything, right? So now that they're literally watching for players now. If you stumble a little bit, they literally call you off the field now because of that. There's been times that you have a concussion and you walk to the wrong huddle. You hear those stories all the time.
Yeah, but that's because people gotten softy. They sued the NFL. What up, Charm City? They sued the NFL into oblivion now. And it's like the way I see it is look, it's part of the risk, right? Right. If you're going to play football, there's a risk that you're going to get the CT or whatever it is, right? So, it's like a mechanic. A mechanic that works on a car knows that if he gets his hand caught in the fan, he's going to cut his fingers off. So if he accidentally gets his hand in the fan and cuts his fingers off, he don't get to sue the place and say, well, I lost my hand. It's just, I get to sue you now. No, bro. You knew that was part of the risk.
Yes, inherent risk. Yeah.
You're getting paid a lot of money to take and absorb these hits. Now the guys from before, like in the 60s and 70s and even into some of the 80s, those guys didn't get the kind of money that these guys are talking about, that these guys make. These guys have made more in one contract than those guys made in their whole careers, which is just crazy to your boys looking at all of these numbers. Like, some of these guys, until the 80s, I don't think any of these guys even made $1 million. To be honest, these guys were all in the low thousands at $60,000, $80,000 a year. These guys are making $30 million. It's crazy.
Yeah, man.
And I don't think the owners should be getting all the money either. And I think if the owners want to build a new stadium, they should pay for it. Why are the taxpayers paying for it with the hotel tax? How can the billionaires that got billions of dollars didn't pay for their own fucking stadium? Well,
because I'd rather spend red money.
Yeah, I know. I know why you rather spend red money. I know.
He said, I thought you had $1 billion. I do. But I want to spend red money.
Hell, I want Ren to pay for my 40.
Yeah.
Where my 40, Ren? How much you got on my 40?
Yeah, like for real. So that's how that happened. So, a lot of people saying JPJ is in his head. He's a wild card. And so I like it. I like JPJ, man, but let's check my man's out.
Like, this is kind of a funny story that I've told a couple of people, but we're playing the Chiefs. I think it's the first time that week. I don't know what week we're in. I think it was like week 5 or 6. And Andre ended up going down, and they were going to put someone else in at center who hadn't gotten snaps all week at it. and I was irate. Like I was pissed. So like they're trying to find someone to like start go snap to Gardner at the time, and I'm like, no, no, this. So I went up to AP and I was like, Coach, respectfully, like I'm gonna play center. I won the Remington. Like I can do this, and like I don't care what you say. I'm gonna go play center. That's kind of the first time I took ownership, and he was kind of like surprised. He's like, all right, okay, go. And then I think like when like first or two plays, like I hip toss somebody, and immediately I was just like, oh, I'm back. Like okay, I'm not giving it back up.
Yeah.
Like I don't.
Yeah.
I'll do what the team needs me to do, but I'm gonna make a hard decision about me playing center or guard.
Yeah.
I love
And
that.
then that's when I kind of got confidence, and I started having like a lot of fun in games
Yeah.
because I was just kind of back in the saddle. So
What's up, Jack? I'm your center. Nice to meet you, man. I love it, dude. Welcome, bro.
Damn,
what you
fat
think
boy.
about what you think about that story? He
Fat
tell
boy.
because people talk about, well, Max is hitting coaches and he's running the team and no one's bigger than the Shield, and I'm like, yeah, that's true what y'all saying, but the thing is, in the throes of the war, the fight, the funk, there's certain things that's just not politically correct. Especially that's why you don't let the civilians see what goes on in war because they don't understand it. Just like what A Few Good Men, he was telling me, you don't understand it unless you got a gun, and we relying on you, we will have no freedom basically. And so you don't want to see how the sausage is made. You just want to
Eat
be
it.
able to pull it on the grill.
All right.
So the thing with JPJ, him basically saying, hey, look, I got this, man, y'all tripping. Maybe a lot of people think that rubs them, that would rub a lot of people the wrong way, but I love that, being that a player is like, come on, man, y'all playing with me. So I think that he's going to get to a point where he kind of matures a little bit, maybe calm down a little bit. I don't want to knock that fire from him, like, because that's a good thing as long as it can be controlled aggression. And I think it's going to be a plus for us. So saying things like we need to trade him, he's not going to start. Trey Zoon is going to come in and take his position. I'm like, how do we get to that point when we haven't even seen Trey Zoon even take a snap in the NFL? Like he's not. We don't. He doesn't even know the speed of the game yet. So how did we get to that point already?
No, I don't think JPJ is going anywhere. I just I don't know where all of this stuff came from or whatever, but I don't know. I guess if there's smoke, there might be fire, but I just don't think it's going to happen. I mean, I could be wrong, right? I mean, there's a chance, but I haven't heard anything like this. I just seen a couple of things going across the internet, but I don't know who's starting these rumors or whatever. I guess people need something to talk about. But yeah, as far as him going out there and taking charge and wanting to be the center and do all that stuff, that's awesome. Like that's cool. That's the kind of aggressiveness that we like to see, right? I want to see somebody who wants the job, like he wants to do the job. So he'll just grab it by the horn and go and get the job done. There's not, people could sit around and talk about doing the job, or they can go and do it. Apparently, he's one of the doers. He's not a talker. So I'm all about that.
Oh yeah, that's important to be a doer, not a talker. I remember my football coach used to say that all the time.
Yep.
You're not a doer, you're a talker.
Yep.
And he try to pump you up. Hey, so no one got concussion. I'm not saying JPJ got a concussion in OTAs and nothing like that, but that's one of the things that people are saying, that he's concussion prone. And so that's why they keep trying to say he needs to either be traded or he's not going to start. These are the things that they're saying. And I'm saying, like, I know I've seen Tua go out there, get concussed like the hard way, like stuff we ain't never seen before, and he's still out there running around. If anybody that has that Guardian helmet, or what you call it, Pistol?
The retard helmet.
Yeah, we go. Yeah, I should have asked you.
Or no, the dunce hat. You mean the dunce hat?
Yeah, the dunce hat. Yeah,
you got the dunce hat.
Yeah, so that's what's going on. Let me see. He said, I'm saying JPG has got one that early before, hasn't he? Yeah, what, a concussion?
Yeah.
I'm not concerned about that though.
His last year or the year before, he got one, but he's had a couple in college too. Just no biggie. No
I
biggie.
think he
What
had
about,
2 in college and 1 in the league.
yeah. What about Estrada?
Yeah. He said JPJ needs to shut up and do what Kubiak wants to do. Now I agree with that. Now, as far as AP, he probably needed to say that to AP because AP probably was over there with his headset that ain't connected to nothing, looking around, trying to figure out who's he gonna put in when you got the guy that's like obviously could play it standing right next to you. So he essentially got to tell you, Coach, I don't care what you say, I'm about to do this, so y'all gonna have to pull me off the field. So,
Who was he
but those are the
talking to? Who's AP
huh?
talking to on that headset anyway? Who is he talking to?
Yeah, anybody in the chat, can you tell me who is AP talking to in that headset?
Who is he talking to?
Right. I know not. Oh, okay. Freddie says, I think we trade him if he's in his head this year or don't start off strong. Nah, bruh. Nah, bruh. You the Brody, but nah, bruh.
Hey, Rogers is. I heard Rogers is coming on really good in the offensive position right now. I heard he's doing really good.
Me too, but we'll see when the pass come on, bruh.
We will, bruh.
Because everybody know how to go like this during OTAs, bruh.
All right, bruh.
I gotta see you block somebody, bruh. Because last year when you played Caleb, you was letting people run by you, and I like Caleb Rogers. I don't like him more than I like Grant though. Grant looked like I think Grant gonna come in and like take somebody's spot. Like he the hungry hippo that's next up next.
Hungry hippo.
He the dog in the yard that's ready to get loose. Like that's who I think. Now Trey Zoon, I think he one of them big dogs that's gonna just like JPJ said when he got in, he wasn't gonna come out. I think Trey Zoon is the same type of guy, but even more even killed. Maybe they like him more, like his personality more than JPJ, but do not take that fire away from a player like that because you know he's going to run through the wall for you already. He's probably going to be the first. And you just need those guys. You just need those guys.
AP was talking to the man on the moon.
Huh?
AP was talking to the man on the moon.
Oh, wow. Because there's some punks on the football team. I'm sorry, I get it. There's some in the NFL. There's some NFL punks on the team, and that's why there's a difference between OTAs and when they start hitting. Because you find out who's the punk. I remember we used to walk when we knew we was going live that day. Wake it up, it's time to funk. We're gonna find out who's the punk.
Yeah.
That's what we used to say. We're gonna find out who's the punk. You're going to find out during that time. So I think he a dog. I think we definitely need him. And wake it up, because it's time to funk. We're about to find out who's the punk. Who's the punk? Yeah. Go to work your tail off, and let the coaches coach. Yeah, I agree with that. But coaches ain't always right, bro. And we can see that with AP. He didn't know how to call for downs right. He didn't know how to use the timeouts appropriately. You know what I'm saying? And I don't really blame him extra much because it was a first-time head coach. He jumped from a linebacker coach all the way to a head coach. He wasn't even a coordinator.
Yeah, so, Madden did that.
Yeah, but we talking about the best of the best. You ain't about to play no video game called AP on it or anything with Antonio Pierce on it.
I'm just saying there's somebody out there who did it.
Yeah, there's one. Hey, what's up with this? I don't know. Let's see. It said, I think Art Shell, Gene Upshaw, and Jim Otto will appreciate and approve of JPJ. I agree. Yee. I agree.
Yeah, well, we've always had. That's one of the things the Raiders built this franchise off of. The foundation of this franchise is up the offensive line. We used to take pride in our offensive line. Running the ball was prideful in this organization.
It said AP was talking to himself. Charm City said AP was talking to himself.
Yeah.
Did Raiderade say AP was talking to a cigar plug?
Yeah.
Sacktown Raider Mike said, I've had several concussions. The more you get, especially if they're close together. I've had several concussions. The more you get, especially if they're close together, the easier it is to get another one. True. JPJ definitely needs to wear a Guardian cap.
Dunce hat.
Tom City say, JPJ helmet already big as hell. If he wears a Guardian cap, he might tip over. Man, y'all stall my homie out, man. Man, y'all give my boy JPJ some grace, man, about his injuries. I know if y'all can give AOC some grace, because he injury prone too. So I know y'all can give JPJ some grace. And for
Well,
all
maybe
you
him
do
and
is
Kobe Dean could hang out.
Oh, him and
Maybe
Kobe
him and
Dean.
Kobe Dean could hang out in their injured time off. You know what I mean? They can get together and play some video games over there at their house and shit. So I'll get some barbecue, hold hands, sing King Kumbaya. I don't know.
Kumbaya.
I don't know what
So
they can do something.
So let me see. So it's a lot of you. It's some fools out here. I'm telling y'all right now. I understand it's the slow part of the season, and y'all just making up stuff to make content, but y'all getting paid for this. And not only that, y'all spreading this propaganda. So I'm writing y'all now. I'm writing y'all dudes' names down, man. Because don't get to changing y'all story in the middle of the season when y'all start talking about JPJ look like he a top 15 lineman. I don't want to hear it.
You don't want to
Y'all
talk about it.
Yes, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, concussions are no joke. I agree. But I know one thing. JPJ is tougher than what's my man that got hurt in Miami?
Oh, you're talking about
Tua.
yeah,
Tagovailoa. Yeah.
yeah. I
So
can't.
and Tua is tough. So come on, man. All right, here we go. J Rose say, Black Pizzle, what do y'all truly think about our safety situation? In the words of Pizzle by way of Jesse Lee Peterson, amazing.
Amazing.
I think our safety position is going to be amazing. I think a lot of us not talking about Dalton Johnson. Dalton Johnson is going to be a key piece in our defense in our safety room. I think that's the second player that we needed to complement the first, because whenever you play with rookie players in the secondary, that's always that's hot, like in fuego, because they're going to get tested. And one of the things that we want to do is we want to eliminate the big plays. If you saw the presser or like the kickback interview with Kubiak last night, he was talking about we want to stop the run, eliminate big plays, and take the ball away. So, yeah, I like our safeties. I think Dalton Johnson is going to be a good compliment to Stoops. I think Stoops is going to be a baller for real. I like that pick the moment we made it, not the day after, like a lot of people. Not to say, I'm just saying I was ahead of the curve on that. So that's why y'all should hit the subscribe button, because I'm gonna give y'all the game, whether y'all like the way I deliver it or not. I'm giving y'all the game. So that way, when it happened, you're not surprised. I'm trying to help y'all with y'all PTSD, the post-traumatic Super Bowl disorder. So
He's talking about a free safety. He's talking about.
yeah,
So,
I am
free safety.
I'm talking about free safety too. Stooks is going to play free safety. Dalton Johnson is going to play free safety sometimes. Like what we have to understand is, like, outside of our regular corners, like we got Stokes playing one corner. We got to find out who our second corner is going to be. Outside of that, it's all about packages. I keep telling everybody it's about who's going to perform how and what package.
Packages, like your meat at the grocery store, like chicken and shit. Packages.
So what you mean? But behind him, like who's gonna back him up? It's gonna be packages. Because it's gonna be sometimes like Hezekiah Walker. I mean, Masses. Like sometimes he could even play center field sometimes, because we're not gonna rely on him to make a bunch of tackles in the box. We're not gonna try to put him in there in the box safety. we'll have him playing the nickel. Some coverages he'll show nickel and might drop back and be the safety. I don't know. We don't know until we see how they perform in camp. But just looking at on paper schematically, Dalton Johnson, Traden Stukes, those guys. I think our nickel position is going to be what's the who's who, because this is like everybody can play nickel for us. Teron Johnson. So yeah,
No,
as far as the depth,
I think it's gonna be I think Stukes is gonna be our nickel. But I could be wrong.
yeah, he's definitely going to be our free safety. Even if we go one high, he's going to be the one high safety.
Yeah, and I think that Palomalo and Chin are gonna be they're gonna be the strong safety, and it's gonna be probably the depth. But they might have Palomalo come on in certain packages too and play safety. But I'm not sure how it's all going to work out. We won't know until they get on the field. But I know that's the plan.
Yeah, I would like to think that they're going to put him back there to play some free safety. Like he played last year, so it's going to be a learning curve there. So it's not like he did so bad that you like don't ever put him there again. But J. Rose said, I get it, but I don't like the depth. Yeah, you got to look at it like this. We weren't going to have depth at that position. Matter of fact, let's have the amount of players in the back on the back end as we do is amazing. By way of Spy Tech and how they're constructing this roster, because we were so thin at that position that we had to draft there first, and a lot of people did not agree with that when we first got that pick in the second round. But we were so thin at the safety position we needed. We addressed it. We addressed the situation, but we don't have enough to address it and build depth like we did on the O line or even maybe the D line, because we need depth at linebacker. So these are things that I think we will address.
We got Eichenberger over there. He's going to be our savior, bro. Don't worry. Good old Tommy Eichenberger. He's going to be all right.
He's going to be our savior?
Yeah, he's just Lord and Savior.
That shit was fucking weak.
You keep pulling that up on your boy. What's going on?
No, we just need some. We need some more linebackers. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and address that. I think in the draft free agency, maybe even this year. We don't know who's gonna get released after camps and things like that. So we just gotta see how these guys play. But I like that we have the youth and agility back there, and we gotta give them a couple seasons to gel together. So what I'm looking for is that they just actually make good plays. Oh, we got ball hawks back there for sure. We definitely got ball hawks. That's the one thing that Kubiak said that he liked about Coach Robbie's vision for the defense is the ability to go after the ball. We want to stop the run, avoid big plays, and ball hawk. And if you notice, that's what we brought in, a lot of ball hawkers. And that's something we haven't had in our defense play, I would say, since Rod Woodson and Charles Woodson. Me personally, I can remember them guys being ball hawkers all the time. So I'm looking forward to that because I want to see us have like plus 15, 12 turnovers, like offense. I don't want our offense to turn the ball over a lot. I don't think we're going to turn over the ball a lot on offense. I think our offense is very controlled. It's going to be very controlled. It's not going to be a matter of us trying to make something happen out of what's not there or what's barely there. Our quarterbacks are not going to have to force the ball in to situations. That's why when I do hear people say that AOC will thrive in this offense, I would agree that AOC is pretty accurate, man. Like he's like a high 60, low 70% accuracy. My knock on him is that he just can't stay on the field long enough. Like it's cool.
And he can't scramble. He can't even scramble, bro. He can't even scramble. I don't even want a running quarterback. I just want somebody who can scramble out of the pocket and make a play. How about that?
Yeah, and that's it. And that's the knock on AOC. Is that very thing right there? Because everything else, he's smart. He's going to get the playbook. He's going to be accurate as long as you give him the time. But what happens when the play is off schedule?
When
What
it breaks
happens
down.
when somebody get beat? Yeah. Now you're going to either get hurt, turn the ball over, or it's going to be something catastrophic.
Or all of the above. All of the above is going to happen.
Or all of the above. Right. Furpo, what's good with you? With the right eye.
I'm a Raider, though.
Yeah, for real. So JPJ, like I said, JPJ, I think you're gonna be just fine, bro. Like I knew our O line wasn't that far away because we had 3 pieces on our O line already that is like fine. Like they're solid players. So now we have a bunch of players with a couple positions. So who do you think now, and I know we haven't gotten to the pads yet, but who do you project our starting O line to be going from left guard to right? I mean left tackle to right tackle.
So I think what's his name is going to be the left tackle. I think maybe it's going to be Rogers or Zune, and then obviously it's going to be Colton Miller, and then probably JPJ. Or actually, no, it's going to be the center, then JPJ, and then it's either probably going to be Glaze or the guy we got from the Niners.
DJ Glaze or Burford. I think Burford is a guard.
Okay, so I don't know, but they'll figure it out.
Teams should be scared to throw it on us. Yep, because we opportunistic. If it's in the air, it's ours. For sure. I'm saying, let me see. Colton Miller at left tackle.
Yep.
Left guard, I'm not sure. But I think what's going to happen is probably like
I think it's going to be Zune or Rogers. I don't know. I could be wrong.
See, I don't know if Zune is going to start already. I just don't think he's going to start already. Because then he has essentially had to leapfrog the 2 third-rounders from last year.
Yeah, but we'll have to see how things are looking in camp. But his numbers from last year in college speak for themselves, though. So he's definitely the best guy, and he's definitely the best offensive lineman in the draft last year.
So this is, I don't think he's gonna start, but this is what I like. This is the lineup I like. And you guys in the chat, tell me the lineup that you guys like as well. I think this is what I think. This is what I think would be the cream of our crop. It might not be the starting lineup, but I think this is gonna be the cream of our crop. It's gonna be Colton at left tackle. It's gonna be Zune at left guard. It's gonna be Linderbaum at center, JPJ and right guard, and then man, either DJ Glaze or Charles Grant, and I think that's gonna be Charles Grant. And see, and even if Trey Zune don't start, I could see Colton Miller, JPJ, Linderbaum, Grant, Glaze.
Yep.
Or no, Glaze, then Grant. Move Glaze inside and put Grant on the outside. I can see that.
Yeah, it's all open to interpretation, right? At this point.
Jay Rose said, I think going into the camp it would be Burford. Yeah, I agree. Going into camp, that's what it's going to be. I agree.
Right on, bro. I got to cut out.
All right, bro. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Thanks, chat, for coming by, hitting the like button and the subscribe button. Check you guys out on the next one.
Is he a Raider, though?
Raiders. I'm a Raider, though.
Yeah. So, Raider Ray says, Colton Miller, Burford, Linderbaum, JPJ, Glaze, first few games, and adjustments pending. Yeah. Sacktown say Burford probably a left guard. Hard to tell until they put the pads on. Right. I think I think he played by necessity for the 49ers. I don't think we're in that position. I think he's the kind of player that if an injury happens, he can come in and be competent. So Sacktown Raiders say Holden Miller at left tackle, Burford at left guard, Linderbaum at center, JPJ at right guard, and right tackle Glaze. Okay. Raider say Zoom and Grant will come in sometime during the season. Yes, I agree. J-Roll, you don't see Grant starting on the O-line this year? I think that's the guy that's on the bubble, me personally. Dang. I think he's on the bubble. You see Webb, what's up with Webb? Webb say Miller, JPJ, Linderbaum, Roger, Grant, with Zoom as number 6. So you guys seeing Rodgers making a leap from last year? A lot of people like Rodgers. Is it his personality or is it his play that y'all like? Which one is it? Which one is it? Purple, yes, yes, yes. What it do, gang? Raider Knight was good. Salute to you. Yeah, we was talking about projection of the O line because everybody keep trying to get rid of JPJ, and one thing I keep seeing as a constant is JPJ being in his lineup. I don't see nowhere near where he's going to be the 6th or 7th guy coming off the bench behind Rodgers. It's like, where are we getting this from? Like I said, I'm making a list of these people because once the season starts and y'all jump off that train, just saying whatever's the popular thing to say, like whoever's winning, that's my guy. I'm calling you out for that because that ain't cool. Because y'all make the Raider Nation topsy turvy. It's already emotional enough as it is. It's hard to be in the Raider therapist when y'all out here telling them craziness and delusion. I think they're grooming Grant to eventually replace Miller. Well, if that's the case, then he needs to come in at right tackle. I would agree with that. I would think he needs to come in at right tackle. If Grant is really that guy, that's why I have him at right tackle, and then Glaze moving over to right guard, and then that's what's going to force JPJ to play left guard. Webb say Rodgers is active and mentally tough, and I like that. I do like that too. Is it bad if JPJ the 5th or 6th or the 6th lineman or 7th lineman? Yes. Yes, it is. That is bad. So you go from being really a 1st-round pick, but they make you a 2nd-round pick because you're in because your concussions, right? That's your concern. So he comes in, he ends up starting at multiple positions, and then all of a sudden now you're the backup or the backup to the backup. Like, so that's the whole thing with Glaze. Glaze got the position by default, and he's been playing there, and he haven't had a lot of really stiff competition there, where he just kind of the de facto right tackle. Now, if Grant comes in and pushes the issue, then that will force him to either go from starter to on the bench, like y'all trying to do with JPJ. But see, the experience that Glaze have, maybe he can't stop the guy one-on-one by himself at right tackle. That's the thing that I see in Kubiak's offense that's very a necessity, is that right tackle ability to take a man one-on-one and stonewall him. Now, if he can't do that, but he can still perform at the guard position, then let's use his experience. Let's use it for the benefit of the team. And then if he loses the position there, because of like a Trey Zoom comes in or something and he gets an injury or tweaked or whatever, then it is what it is. But the one thing I do like about Grant is his ability to not get injured. was the only lineman last year that played all the games without getting injured, and that says a lot. And I do not overlook that at all. Raider A said 2 trench monsters from last year's draft to watch is Hemingway and Grant. Well, I like Tonka. I really do like him a lot. I like how he produced. I think he had like 4 sacks from the interior, the in area. So I'm definitely liking it. And the same thing with Grant. In his limited time, he played well. So I can appreciate both of them. I think both of those guys are on the bubble. So it is what it is. So let me know where you guys are from in the chat. Let me see the area code because I gotta get this video to the algorithm trying to help Raider Nation with their PTSD, the post-traumatic Super Bowl disorder. We're on our way, y'all. We on our way. We are on our way. But until then, I need y'all to remember that I'm a Raider. I'm a Raider. From the Bay to LA to Las Vegas.
I'm a Raider. From the Bay to LA to Las Vegas. Recipes to Al Davis.